welcome to your November 24th Monday Power Hour meeting with Katelyn, Carly, and Claire. And Katelyn was just recapping the amazing week that she had at Mike Ferry with most people in this room as well.
I think pretty much almost everyone that we were with was here today.
Yes, and he's a big believer in affirmations and positive thinking and yelling
and working
loudly together. And it was
anytime they wanted us to settle down, we had to yell, "I'm a great salesperson" for about 3 minutes.
Does that stuff help? Sandeep, you're not nodding, we're shaking, you're just smiling at me.
He's traumatized, okay?
Definitely, obviously, they are doing business for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years. There is something definitely good.
Yeah.
I feel people like me, I need to unlearn and then learn again.
Fair.
A couple of good things. One of the questions I think people will have to Claire is they spoke about the terminated listing.
Expired.
Terminated listings, yeah. Terminated listings, yes.
Terminated, yeah.
What they mentioned, he was very clear that as far as the Ontario is concerned or Canada is concerned, I mean, check the rules, but don't go and knock the door. You can do the, when you can visit multiple properties, and that could be one of the properties you can say, I was here.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know what's going on, we just went to the Mike Ferry.
It was 3 days of Mike Ferry. Yeah.
An action workshop. They give you a book, and you have to do chants, and you have to do scripts, and you have to
It's all about taking
practice
action,
in front of the
right?
next person to you, right?
Yeah.
So what was the benefit? Like, I mean, a lot of people think that Mike Ferry is too aggressive, or Mike Ferry is, I mean, I can't be like him, or I can't do this. So it's like, did you find it aggressive? I'm looking at Sandeep here. Did you guys find it aggressive or no?
They teach you the discipline. Number one, affirmation that giving yourself energy. Number two, putting your schedule and everything. I think most of the stuff, I'll say 80-90% Katelyn covers might be the person who was speaking there was a different people were hearing as a, okay.
When they hear from someone else.
Like a mom says, when she says something, you listen.
Yeah. When mom says do it, meh. When Dad Larry tells you, you're like, okay, fine.
So when they said to use the phone, or they say use the door knock, or what are they saying?
They were more into door knocking this time, to be honest, which was very interesting.
Because nobody has landlines,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's saying the door knock. So and they want you to be that aggressive on the at the door as well as on the phone. That same aggression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that-
when
this-
you're at the door.
And this
Oh
is,
yeah, we had to smile. We
this
learned
is
how to
where-
do
This is
that.
where agents sort of get the drunk monkey gets on their back and they're saying, well, that's too aggressive, or I can't do that, or what's the client going to say, or what's this, or what's that. I mean, like, you're there to get a house sold. Do you care what the guy says? I mean, you're trying to find the guy that says yes. Right?
Yeah.
Some trainers will say, and I'm not, you guys decide what's better or what isn't better, but some trainers will say, get a lead, put the lead into your CRM, follow up the lead for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. If you're really good at phone calling, you'll probably have 1,000, maybe 2,000 leads that you're going to be following up every day, and he's saying that's a complete waste of time.
Yep.
He
He
says-
believes in having a database of sphere of influence, but then when it comes to like those types of leads, he doesn't believe in like keeping them unless they're buying in 3 months.
That's right. Unless they're going to buy something, it used to be 2 weeks. Is it 3 months now?
Yeah, it was 3 months.
It used to be 2 weeks, but they're saying that they're looking for people that want to do something in 3 months. Then they're going to follow up those guys. But the guy says, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm going to move out eventually when my kids move out." Then they, I'll save that person for 10 years, right? They're saying, don't waste your time. Go after the people who want to do something in three months. So that being said, who wants to do something today? Which clients out there want to do something today that are out there today?
So that's what they were talking about. Terminated listings.
How about a for sale by owner?
Yeah, I was going to say FSBO was the other one they were
If it's a
focused on.
For sale by owner wants to do it today.
Yep.
You guys ever driven by a sign that says house for sale and kept going?
Yep.
Right? You and 70,000 other agents. So one agent's going to stop and knock on that guy's door or phone, right?
And they don't go because it says no agents right on it.
Boss thinks I'm not an agent, so.
It says no agents, so
Sorry,
people say,
yeah.
okay, not for me.
Sorry, Floyd the Big says no agents, please. And says, yeah, that's my manager. The manager says a no agent.
Yeah.
Got to get some sales.
Yeah, so they're talking about, I'll go into a bunch of the stuff near the end, but with the FSBOs on that topic and probably the terminated, they're saying these people are good to go after because these people want to sell their home. They want to save commission. They don't have an agent for the FSBOs. They don't know what to do. They don't have a marketing plan. They don't have a sales process. They don't know how to qualify a buyer. And they usually sell 8 to 10% less than what they could get with an agent. So they did talk. And they were saying the way to find FSBOs, in case you're wondering, was on Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji. So those were if you guys are looking for those types of
So
people.
let's say I'm selling my house private. Where am I going to advertise? The Toronto Star. Has anybody looked at the classified ads in the Toronto Star or the Toronto Sun? Are they still? I mean, I know if I'm a high-end agent, if I'm working a Forest Hill or something, I'm advertising the Globe and Mail. I'm advertising the Toronto Star. So I assume that other people are advertising there too. I haven't looked at myself, but anyways. But to answer your question for expired listings, that's the question was expired listings. You're not allowed to. Privacy laws don't allow you to use information on MLS other than to try to sell that property on MLS. It's not there to look for expired listings. It's against the Privacy Act to use MLS for privacy listings. That's what's against the law. It's not against the law to farm an area and a property came up for sale in your farm area and then it expired. You have a conversation with those people. If you're door knocking in an area and somebody says, "Hey, my neighbor had his house for sale down the street a couple of months ago. It's off the market now." That's a lead. That's not you're not identifying these people. So as long as you're not identifying it, like some agents they'll say, "Hey, I know your listing expired. If you're thinking about hiring somebody, give me a call."
Don't do that.
Do you think that works?
No. What if the listing is terminated?
That doesn't
and not
work at all.
expired?
So you can't be doing that, right?
A terminated listing is way better than an expired listing.
Again, same thing. I would think terminated the same thing. You're not allowed to use MLS to target things like that. So
What
you gotta be
about if
careful
they
out there.
check off the box that says yes to be contacted after?
But if they're telling everybody to door knock now, then now that makes sense to me.
Yeah, so he was recommending doing 3 or 4 houses to the left, 3 or 4 houses to the right, and then at least they'll see you door knocking, you're gathering some info, and then it might be like, "Oh, the neighbor said you were just on the market," or they're going to mention it naturally. So
I was knocking on the street, and my neighbor said that your house was for sale at one time, so I'm just curious what changed,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever the wording you're going to use, right?
yeah, it was very interesting, and it was all types of people that are door knocking. Like a lot of people have the drunk monkey about, "Oh, I'm a man, I can't go there." There was a young guy on our row. I think he was probably in his early 20s. I think he had like a turban. And he was a young kid, and he dressed so fancy, and like there was men going up. So a lot of men have it, and they can't go because like women should be door knocking kind of thing. But when they had people on the stage, it was a lot of men door knocking. So if anyone's been thinking about it, this was all mostly West End guys, I think. But it was interesting to see how many door knocking people there were.
I've got a flyer here, for instance. The flyer it's not a property for sale. It just talks about the marketplace. It says how many transactions they did and what's the market doing, blah, blah, blah. So he could have these things in his car. He could have a whole stack of these things in his car. And anytime he feels like door knocking, he pulls the car over and does the door knocking. So already got the flyer sitting there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say I just listed or I just sold. It just talks about the marketplace itself. So you set yourself up to do these things as well.
I'll talk about this too on the postcard topic. They did talk more about in this session about staying in touch with your database than I've ever heard him talk about. But sending a postcard to your database every 90 days was one of them, which I thought was interesting. To send a mail out, it was just a postcard. So I don't know if that's part of that agent strategy, but every 90 days they mail out a postcard to their database about anything, the market.
So it's not just all tech.
It was email, text, call. It was monthly email. Every 90 days, send a postcard. Every 2 months, do a phone call, and then also text message. So we had 4 different strategies for it. In one social media post a week.
Yeah, we're talking about business plan, right? So these are the types of things.
It was very, like Susan and I were just talking, like his system's very easy. It's just talk to 5 people a day. I'll even say it just now. It was part of my after, but it was, what was it, 5 people a day? I guess it depends on what your goal is, but typically about 5 people a day. In order to stay in touch with your database or people you know, it was mail a postcard every 90 days, talk to your database every 90 days, email a monthly market update every month, text every other month, and post twice a week on social media. And that's the plan. That's it. So it was just reusing the database that you have, and then on top of prospecting. Very interesting, but very simple.
Did you find anything, Stu? Find anything different about it, or is it okay? Or?
Yeah,
You found
I love
more?
it because they do have a system, and it's the same system. Because I have taken coaching before, they keep changing the scripts. They keep changing the system. With Mike Ferry, if you follow it, it's the same system. And I think you get better and better when you do it more, right? So
Just a matter of
nice
doing
and
it, right?
simple.
So,
Yeah.
and most people don't do it because they're not sure what they want to say, right?
Yeah.
But the scripts are all there.
Oh yeah, the scripts are easy.
I talked to a guy years ago. He used to do door knock. He says you used to scare the crap out of him. So what do you do? You drive up to the first house there, and open up his passenger's window, take the car keys and throw them out the window. So now he had to get out of the car and get his keys. And
Get out of the car.
I figured I'm out of the car. I might as well knock on the door while I'm here.
I'm playing some games with yourself.
So because your drunk monkey's sitting there, well, nobody's going to be home, or what if they yell at me, or I'm not going to do this, or what's the waste of time, or what's for lunch, or I mean, your drunk monkey just gets in there and all these different things, and now they're just saying, just make it happen.
And they're not cold door knocking. They're cold calling, just listed, just sold. So like you either just listed a property and you're just telling the neighborhood about it, or a property just got sold in the neighborhood and you're just telling them about it. You're not just going up being like, do you want to sell your house? There's a script for it.
So you can go into it later
Yeah, I'll
on.
talk
You can
about
work
some
it
of the other
together.
stuff
And then,
later
did
on.
anybody go to Rich Robbins last week?
I think Sanjay did,
I know
but
Jen Lang did as well.
yeah, I saw Jen Lang.
That looked like high energy
Kathy
too.
or Kathy?
Nope, Kathy did not.
Jen Lang did? Okay, good.
That was such a different conference. And when I saw the videos, because Richard Robbins has the big stage, the lights,
Production.
the production. Mike Ferry's guy just literally had a piece of paper on a stage. And we were laughing because they don't serve coffee either at their events, which was interesting. But I remember years ago they explained that they don't serve coffee because it clogs your throat and you're talking the whole time, like you're yelling scripts. So they only had hot water and like lemon, and that was, or no, not even lemon, honey with sticks. So like very simple conference compared to, but it was only $250 as well. So you kind of cheaper conference, just a different style.
True.
But I think going 9 years later actually is way better than going as a beginner. So if you guys want to go later, it's better.
Okay.
So I see lots of people here today. Why is that?
They went to Mike Ferry. At least 5 people, at least 5 of them were there last week.
It's true. Did anyone run open houses on the weekend? Mo's did. That's 4.
Oh, that was it okay?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah, it's a nice listing.
Oh, the Riverdale.
House, 3-bed, 3-bath. Had it 11 groups through,
Wow.
and 6 one day, 5 the other, and 3 solid leads.
1.2, right?
1.2.
What did you do after the open house?
Oh,
And one of the buyer leads actually showed another property the same day.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Got their info and then,
Like in the area?
yeah.
So I
that's
just said,
good.
"Oh, I'm done at 4. You want to go at 4:30?"
Yep.
They're like, "Sure."
I remember Cam telling you guys to do that when we did our listing thing a couple years back. Said if you guys do open houses, maybe check out to see if there is a similar one nearby that you can take the buyer to afterwards. So that's smart. Did they like the second one? No.
I'm sure they like to go see it. So.
I think they're pretty solid.
So now it's going to be a potential client.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. And you weren't doing open houses before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised you did one. That's good.
Yeah.
Trying anything, right?
All right, so you got open houses. You got look for sale by owners in the
Facebook and Kijiji.
Don't target expiries from MLS, but certainly door knock.
Terminated listings is a different strategy too, I
And then
guess.
your past client database, how to follow up on those folks and send emails and send out something in writing.
Email, text, call, postcard, social media.
Does anybody here use Morris Marketing?
I think Elio used to.
So they stopped, right? So Morris
they did?
Morris Marketing is no longer going to do hard copy mail.
Oh, why?
I think, I don't know why. What'd they tell you why?
They had an FAQ. I didn't really read it. They had some reasoning. Did you read it?
They didn't get bought out or anything. They just
No, I
stopped.
think they said something about like we want to focus our efforts on digital marketing.
Save money maybe.
Yeah, probably doesn't. They're, I don't know.
The margins are
charging a whole
small.
lot and to send out mail.
Okay, so now that they've gotten rid of it, do you have a secondary strategy for it or?
Well, figuring it out right now.
Okay.
Okay, so they were charging, what, about $2.30 per piece, or what were they charging?
Wasn't that much. Like,
Less than $1.50, okay. So, and it costs to mail something, to mail like first-class mail letter, it costs $1 what?
23.
How much?
Regular mail is $1.23.
$1.23. So
Just
they're
like an
sending
envelope?
mail through, how are they delivering mail for less than $1.23?
I mean, they're probably getting bulk discounts.
I
They
don't
also
know.
have like a yearly like fee.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It looks up about $2.75.
I thought it was more like $1.23 plus another $1.23 for the piece. So it's got to be $2.30 or more, anyways. And then I'm wondering if the post office screwed them up because the post office went on strike.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were. They weren't. So they're sitting there with all this inventory trying to ship it out there,
True.
and it's time sensitive. And if they go on strike, that would have been a problem.
The month of October, they would delay to the month of 20th of October.
Yeah. So I'd recommend in that price range, I'd recommend Kits from David Greenspan's company, Kits Communication, KITS.
There's other companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mail out stuff, and there's another company in Ottawa called, I think it's DMS, I think Calvira uses them in Calgary. There's also that Mission Response.
Mission response, yeah.
It's another one there, so there's a bunch of them around there. But I guess my answer to you, or my thoughts are that you don't want to not do it.
Yeah.
Because you've been mailing stuff to these folks now for years, all of a sudden now you stop, and what are they going to say?
They're gonna think you're out of the business.
They say, I guess you're out of the business, right? So you got it's a serious problem for you.
Yeah. So don't not do it. Maybe you might even want to send an email out to your clients, be like, something's coming in the mail.
So one of our agents here, one of our agents, they're on Morris Market, and I suggested to them that they use our CR Works monthly email newsletter. I'm already paying for it. It doesn't cost you guys anything. Jenny, how many people are doing that? You have any idea? Like half, like 10%, 5%, 50%?
About 100.
So 25% of you are using that. The other 75%, I don't know why you're not. All you need is a first name, last name, email address, and every month you get a newsletter sent out. So it's easy peasy, man.
Yeah.
So you might want to consider doing that as well. The objection I'm hearing back, well, if I send them an email and they don't like it, they're going to delete it, and they're okay. Well, then don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, either mail them out something or email them something, something. Have that business plan. Make sure it happens.
Yeah. It's a good lesson. Anything could change, though, I guess, right?
Yep.
Good.
I'll jump into market stats.
A couple things first, though. So the Clove, remember the Cloverdale Mall? Is it Cloverdale Mall? This is Etobicoke, wherever it is. So they're not going to continue, right?
Your Madame Homes, yeah.
It's a Madame Homes. Okay. So they're not going to continue any commission that they paid. They want back. Luckily, we only got one, right?
So if they cancel the project, they still want the agents to pay them back, eh?
Yeah. So any commission you get from pre-construction, if the project doesn't go through, then the builder wants their money back, and you agreed to that when you signed the commission agreement. So it's no surprise, right? But we had one here that an agent made us aware of there on the weekend. Some guy's trying to sell it there for property on Yorkville. I want to say it's 1,400 square feet. Yorkville would be right in Yorkville, and the person paid $3,000 a square foot. Paid almost $4 million for this property back when he bought it 5 years ago.
Is it penthouse?
It's a big unit, yeah.
It's a big unit.
I
Was it
don't know if it's
1,900 square
fantastic.
feet or 1,400 square feet? I think it was 14. Anyways, you can have it today for $1.8 million. It's 1.8?
1.8. He's losing 1.8.
He's losing 1.8.
Sorry, about 2, yeah.
2.122.
So if somebody wants to buy a bargain, so they're still going for what, over $1,000 a square foot. No, whatever, that's too high.
That sounds
There is
crazy.
$1,100.
Yorkville, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yorkville, brand new, was $3,000 a
I
square
know.
foot.
Wow.
Imagine
Today-
losing.
I think most of the stuff's at 1,100. I think this is a premium property. I'm sure it's good at 2,000.
We can make a Fulton house there.
Probably.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on there, right? Stats. Okay, let's get into stats. We'll get into stuff too. I'll use yours. Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so as of the 23rd of November, we got 26,000 active listings. So the active listings have come down, right? Remember, we were reaching 30,000 at one time, so they've come down. You've got 11,000 condos, 15,000 freeholds. Vacants, 36% of the properties are vacant. Sales compared to last year are actually down 17%. At one point in time, the first 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks in November, I think TRREB was down like 30%. So they're actually creeping back a little bit here. So minus 17%. Freeholds are minus 13%. Condominiums are actually down 24%. So condominiums are still having a hard time. Sales over 101%. So almost 20% of freeholds are selling for over asking. So
Wow.
is that a strategy we're doing right now? Does anybody have any freeholds out there that are not selling? If they price reductions? If your price reductions with offer dates, I mean, that seems to be...
I'm seeing people do offer dates after as plan B and it working.
Yes. Okay,
After they've
so-
tried a higher price, dropped it a couple times, now
We
they're
used to say
like,
don't bother. Now we're saying try
it's like
anything.
strategy C.
Yeah, we're saying, you know what, you tried to list it what you wanted, it didn't work, now you got to go under.
But how
Yeah.
long would you wait?
Same thing, you follow the same 7 days. And really what you're trying to do is create some FOMO for the people that have already shown it. You're trying to give them a deadline now. It's not typical to get the brand new showings in new eyes, but I'm finding people are not making decisions right now. They're taking a long time.
So I was reading the States, and they're doing the same thing. In the States, the sellers, rather than reducing their prices, they're taking the properties off the market.
And waiting for spring.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of people are going on the fallback
waiting
plans.
for 2030.
Yeah.
Did anybody here, anybody here have a freehold property right there that's not selling, been in the market for a while, like more than 30, 40 days? Anybody here?
Probably a lot of us.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was
sorry?
like, probably a lot of
And
us.
so what's the conversation with your client? Or let's make it up. Okay, let's say you have a client that's been there for 60 days. What's your conversation with them?
For us, it depends on the client. Like if I
It really depends on their motivation.
Yeah, like if we have a client that's not super motivated, they haven't bought anything, they don't need to buy anything, we're not canceling the listing, but we're just hanging out until next year, and with the prospect of doing a fresh listing at that time. If they are motivated, it's a price reduction. If they bought or they have to sell or do something,
They're
it's a price
very
reduction.
quiet phone calls. The sellers are just quiet.
Is that right? Because the months of
Yeah.
inventories are going to be about, it's almost 5, right? So
Yeah.
that means for every 5 listings, only 1 selling.
Yeah, and that's in like an urban area too. So the more you go out, too, the harder it gets. Yeah, but Katelyn's always talked about it's the weekly updates that are helping.
I was gonna say the weekly updates really help guys. Like we've got a couple, like not stubborn sellers, but they've got prices they want to get, and just by updating them, like, oh, here's the feedback, here's what's happening. Like you're not saying let's drop the price. You're just giving feedback calls all week or every week, and then eventually they're gonna be stubborn, and they're like, okay, fine, we'll sign back 50 under what we really want. Like they do end up kind of like now that they've experienced it, but it takes a few weeks for them to get there. But they're recommending price drops in some cases. But you have to have that conversation at the
You
listing.
can't ignore them. You can't keep
No.
on going. We have one couple an agent, one agent whose property's listed for $850, $870, and we believe that the real price is in the 7s. And the agent promised staging, and the agent promised open houses every weekend.
Gotta be careful with what you promise.
So here they're doing open houses every weekend and paying for staging for a property that's $100,000 overpriced.
Yeah, so you have to be really
Even with that,
careful.
you got to be with staging. You're like, we're only staging for 30 days. If you want to keep it, you're going to pay for it. Otherwise, we'll take it down. You can't
And you can't
offer
talk
that.
about this when you're trying to give them bad news about the price. You have to talk about it
Listing
when you're
presentation.
meeting with them before you get it on the market, of all the possible scenarios that could happen. Because you try to deliver that bad news with a price, it's, they're
And
not.
you can't take responsibility for the price. It's their call. You give them the information. You can't,
Yeah.
you tell them what you want to do. Right?
Even giving prices is really hard right now. It's very hard to pick a
If
price.
you've got a seller that maybe wants to move up, could you look at properties that they're looking at to see what
Yep.
price adjustments those properties are getting to show them, look, the place you want to buy, they're reducing their prices by 150 grand.
Yep.
So you should be able to do yours by
I can't say
100
that's
grand.
always the case though, because I feel like those sellers are also in the same mindset where it's like.
But you just have to keep spitting like any type of facts at them, like even just sending them what sold.
There's one that sold for $780, but for some reason this guy thinks he's gonna get $850 for the same unit. That's like.
Yeah, they're having a hard time believing it. Like I sent a client a sold price. Our target was like 1.1. I sent him a sold of 925. He was like silent.
Yeah, it's just silent.
And I just like, is everything okay? He's like, I just can't believe someone actually sold their house for that much. I'm like, I know, but that's what the market demanded. That's
Yeah.
what the price is. But they still can't believe it.
For selling it for so low.
Yeah, it's
But like that's kind of what we wanted. We want affordable housing,
That's
so
right.
like we should. That's what's gonna happen.
So some of the articles I have are like, our housing is more affordable, and we're all missing the point because we're all complaining about other things. But meanwhile, prices have been inching down and down, which is making things more affordable. So our sellers are not happy, but
That's why I think
That's
the
a good
listing
thing.
presentation, it should be talking about, hey, the prices right now are 2020 prices.
yeah, I agree.
2020 price.
If you want to see what your house is worth,
Yeah.
you're back to 2020.
Okay.
You're 3 years removed from the peak,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
makes sense.
Not late 220.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, like,
early,
Yeah,
pre,
early
like
when no one wasn't leaving their house. 2020.
What a time!
But just remember, your job is to promote the property and to get showings and to get eyeballs on the internet and so on and so forth. Your client's job is to price it. So
That
that's
takes
it.
some pressure off you, doesn't it? Isn't that a different mindset? It's a different way to reframe what
And
we
you just have to
do.
go to listing track to find out how many showings you've had, your own showings themselves, and look at the graphs at Broker Bay and see what's going on, right? So it's all there. On the lease size, leases are actually picking up. Leases are 19,000, almost 20,000 leases out there, 10,000 are condo, 9,000 are freeholds. Leases themselves are actually up 8%.
Yeah.
So anybody knows that? Leases are starting to pick up a little bit, or is anybody trying to struggling with leases?
We are struggling to sell because of
I have
pricing.
two of them, it's nothing, one in Ajax had a couple of offers, but owner rejected them. But in Newmarket, nothing is moving there.
So it's the
Interesting.
same thing.
Price.
Leases going down as well?
Yep.
Good.
It is a good thing. I think that's why people are renting more now. It's more affordable to rent right now, especially in that York region. Typically would be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. We were talking earlier about people having a fallback plan. So we're starting to get into conversations now with the people that are not motivated. What is the fallback plan, right?
That's a good
There's got to be a
conversation.
plan B, and we have some of those right now. So, yeah, like if they're not willing to come down to price, but again, they don't have that motivation to go somewhere, especially the seniors are having to come up with a little bit more creative plans as well. They talk about a story where somebody had paid a lot for a house in the hot market, but now they want to downsize, and they ended up taking an offer $150K less than what they paid because of a closing. So now these are where terms are more important than ever, right? Like if you've got someone that needs the time to renovate or needs that 4 months, where typically that kind of closing wouldn't be desirable, people are willing to take a little bit less money now for closing. So terms are becoming more important than ever. And yeah, so fallback plans, what does that look like for some people? What are we doing for fallback plans? We're getting rid of staging. We're not paying for that. What else? Could be waiting, keeping the listing, waiting till spring. Could be renting out that property, doing something else, or getting financially approved. I've heard of some situations where they keep the property and they rent that out and they get mortgage approved for that as well.
Just scary.
It is scary, but I mean, we want to hang on to the listings as well. You don't want to cancel your listing, so you may want to suspend it. Yeah, what are you guys telling your clients right now that are not selling and are not doing price reductions either? Are they just hanging out, letting their contracts expire?
I guess if their motivation isn't strong enough, right? They're just going to sit
Yeah,
there.
you have to do something, right?
Yeah.
So as an agent, you either have to go out and get more business, let them.
I was going to say, go find another one.
Yeah.
It's hard when you don't have a motivated seller and you can tell because they're just silent, like, okay, cool, we'll just keep waiting. But when they have motivation, they will call you and they will drop their price. They won't even tell you why they're motivated. Sometimes they lie to you.
That's true.
Funny part is I have a triplex for sale. I'm calling the owner to reduce it. She's not reducing it.
Yep.
She's telling me, have you done open house on that?
Yeah, like what's the, like I know for us, we are pretty open about the open houses saying, well, like usually we'll just say, yeah, we'll do one for sure. But for us, we find that not the most serious buyers are going through the open houses, and that's kind of the way to kind of tell them we can do an open house, but like you're not getting the right buyers coming through those. The serious ones are coming in with an agent on their own. So,
Yeah. Other
It's
fallback
stressful.
plans are, it looks like people are just being more price sensitive, like with their budget. So, you know, back when they maybe wanted a 3-bedroom house, now they're concessing for a 2-bedroom house that meets their budget, and the kids are sharing a bedroom, for example, or maybe they're moving in with family as well. But people are being a lot more budget conscious right now, especially with job insecurity looming. And I think they're just making concessions and making different plans to not sell their house. So we have to be prepared for that as well. A good lesson to be careful about headlines. So this one talks about the Canadian mortgage delinquency rate falling for the first time in 3 years. So CMHC reported on this. And you have to remember too, they're looking at all of Canada. So the stat is Canada Mortgage and Housing Corp says the national mortgage delinquency rate was 0.22% in the second quarter. So even the headline says it falls for the first time. It only fell by 0.1%. So it fell from 0.22 to 0.3. And also, that's all over Canada. So when you take a look at Toronto and Vancouver, our delinquency rates are actually rising, and they're rising quite quickly as well. But the rest of Canada is not doing so bad. So they're talking about how trends in Atlantic Canada, Quebec, and the Prairie, they're paying off their mortgages. That's why that rate went down 0.1%. But then places like Toronto and Vancouver has gone up about 60% versus the year before. So again, be careful about headlines as well. But it is good news that sort of the other provinces are helping the rest of Canada, because actually the stats look quite positive. If you read Canadian news, it says sales are up, prices are up in some places as well, and it's causing the overall averages to go down. But it's when you look at Toronto and Vancouver, it's a totally different market than the rest of Canada.
Saskatchewan's killing it right now.
A lot of the provinces are, yeah. But I think it's because some people are moving there. I think the prices, it's affordability again, right? People
Their average is probably like 250,000.
Yeah, it's
probably.
totally different. Now Toronto and Vancouver are seeing the downfall. It's our pre-construction world that's really dragging us down, and our condos that are dragging us down, right?
Yeah.
So, you reading the same thing?
Yeah, same article, yeah. So all Canada's like 0.14 in 22. Now it's what, 0.22? Toronto's 0.24. So it's still not too bad. It's like 0.24% delinquency fees overall.
It's not too bad. It looks like it's pretty similar to 2020. The problem in Toronto is actually it is increasing. So it's, where the rest of Canada is sort of blending out that average again.
It says here that we do a lot of leases, right? And the only reason why we do leases, hopefully, is so that you can keep in contact with these clients, so later on they become buyers of real estate, right? Average Toronto renter earns household income $142,000. That's more than first-time buyers.
Yeah.
So what they're saying here is that there's lots of money there that people are doing it. They're saying the average Toronto renter has household income $142,000. Many earnings well over $100,000. It's affluent renter base. Apparently 1/3 of them in that range. In Toronto, the average renter spends about 31% of their income on rent. This is all according to Single Key. And the average rent for $2,500 average rent in Toronto. So they're saying that the average renter, I guess the problem isn't so much the income, it's the down payment.
It's the down payment and the cash flow. So you need to have a certain income to be able to get approved for that mortgage payment every month. So you have two issues, is your down payment and your cash flow.
Okay, good.
That's right. And I think that's what's making everyone decide not to do anything. They're going to rent where they can get out of a lease, right? I think job security is a big deal.
Job
right
security still, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's
Well, they don't want to buy, get locked in a mortgage.
Jobs are being replaced by AI, a lot of jobs.
Really? Like which one?
A lot of people in the IT field are also losing their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? Let alone jobs that computers can handle.
Yeah.
No, not only that, manufacturing plants as well.
Manufacturing, that's a real one.
Because five people were doing the job, now only 2 or 3 people can do it.
Yeah.
And we have different opinions. We were talking about that.
I tell you,
We were talking about this last
so those
week.
people at home.
Schedule that in 1 hour, the one person can do this much of job. So
Yeah.
the management is pressuring them that you guys can do this job, so you have to finish this job. And it's killing so many jobs that way.
So the suggestion for those at home, section at home is that AI is replacing IT jobs and even some manufacturing jobs. But
Yeah.
but my
So many
experience
companies are
here is the opposite.
implementing. Even Walmart is implementing. Big companies of Canada, they are implementing AI everywhere.
Yeah.
AI is not in that stage to replace those things right this moment. AI is not at a stage.
That's what I was thinking.
Far from that.
Yeah.
AI is about 80 to 90% to the perfection, but in 2-3 years, it will cover everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think you're going to need humans to manage the AI, and I don't think AI is perfect, right? Like, I still think it's going to cause mistakes. It's going to be only as good as you controlling it and giving it the information.
It still needs a human behind it.
Internet, that now you can see how internet is.
Yeah, I'll give you an example though. I'll give you an example, an operation example. So if I think about deal admin, you probably see a lot of little small mistakes right now. Like SkySlope doesn't have the thing you sent and I'm asking you for it. And back in the day, like when I started in the company, we used to fax your documents. I know it sounds crazy, but we were still using a fax machine. And you would get a whole deal. You guys would do a deal and you would send it to us in paper or it comes through fax and it would all be together. Fast forward to today, it started happening right around that time where we would get email documents. And now we get like 20 emails for one deal. here's the deposit to update MLS, here's my agreement, here's my RICO, here's my FinTrack when I forgot to do the receipt. And so it's literally 20 to 30 emails for one day, and we are inundated with emails. So you think the technology of the internet and the email is going to improve operational processes, and it can if you do it correctly. But now I'm at a standstill where now I need to implement AI to help me automate the emails that I get, and now it's actually causing us to hire more people than I ever have. We used to run this whole department with more transactions and less people because of the simplicity of handing something in, and now we have the challenge of incorporating automation and AI, but it's not going to cause a staffing thing. It's actually going to be more humans temporarily in the transition. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the jobs will shift. So those IT people are maybe not now doing the typical stuff they do, but now they're managing the AI and the automations to still facilitate the end product as well,
AI
right?
is doing the coding as well now.
Yeah,
but AI still needs a person a little
to validate
bit to
it
do
and
it,
to
right?
push it out.
AI is not just this like magical thing that's just doing it.
But to the human emotion, you're scared about.
People, one person can do it. Only one person can.
And I'm arguing actually that you will need more people one day. I think you'll actually need more humans to integrate all that, only because of what I've seen firsthand operationally. But humans are scared of their jobs for this reason too, right? So,
We're not in that stage yet.
Yeah.
but it's imminent.
Yes.
I'm reading stuff even about AI bubbles right now. The stock market right now. Last week they're waiting for that. Was it Nvidia or where that name of that company is?
Nvidia, yeah.
And they came in with their numbers saying we have sales, but we're not making any profit. So the stock market last Wednesday or Thursday after they announced their earnings, the stock market actually went up.
Poor guys, they have a $1 trillion things.
No, but it went up, but they're also saying that the reason why it went up is because all the speculators were anticipating that it was going to go up. It had nothing to do with real money. And now this week they're saying that wait a second, they're not making the profit they thought. So maybe they're talking about. Was anybody around the .com bubbles? Remember the .com? Yeah. You got an app for this, an app for that, and then all of a sudden I don't know. This AI, they're talking about parallels.
Well,
Anyways, we'll see.
Nvidia Shield exaggerated the whole thing, and they reached $1 trillion of things, and it said with that they lost everything. So that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're claiming that they're not making a profit as much as they wanted to.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, on the job front, I think the trades are going to increase. So if you think about your electricians, your contractors, those people that need to build the facilities, plumbers, I think the trades. And we still have an issue with young people. Most of my information from that comes on Reddit, and the young people are trying to get jobs right now. And we went through it in 2008. And I don't think it was nearly as bad.
I didn't even know we were
going through it then. But I'm seeing young people really struggle. They're right out of fresh university college, and they can't get a menial job at just a basic place. So we have an issue right now because that's our talent. That's who's going to bring our economy forward one day, right? So that's an issue right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Ford's trying to get something going there with the housing.
Yep.
So is the federal government. So the federal government came in and said that we're not going to charge HST to the builders. Sorry, the GST, which is 5% federal, for brand new homes for first-time buyers. And Ford says, okay, we'll do the same. But Ford's saying we want to do more. He says, why is it only limited to first-time buyers? First-time buyers represent 5% of the population that's buying new homes. So they're doing this thing here to say 5%. Like, why is it just for first-time buyers?
I agree.
Why not for all buyers?
Yeah.
The counter argument would be because it costs money, and then so what it means is that you, the taxpayer, are going to be paying for that guy's HST. You follow what I'm saying? So its money can be gone. But anyways, so Ford's trying to get it going. Whether we don't care, I don't know. But he's trying to say why is it just first-time buyers should be everybody? So we'll see what happens with that.
I think what they're trying to do, though, it's not really for the buyers. They're trying to get the developers to get more shovels in their ground. So the headlines make it seem like it's to help the buyers, but they're actually just trying to get the developers to do more.
The only downside I see in what they're doing with the HST is they're telling the builder that we're not going to charge you HST. Does that mean the builder's going to pass that HST on to the consumer?
Yes.
They might use it as a negotiation too.
Maybe,
If you buy a house right now from a builder, it includes HST. So they're going to reduce the price by 13% now that there's no HST? I think they're going to put the money in their pocket.
Not if it's not selling.
It's not selling, yeah. Which they could do that now too. Anyways, it's something, right? It's something that's going on, so they'll do that.
Why they don't eliminate that stress test?
Okay, eliminate the stress test would be an idea, right? Is that going to create more jobs?
Well, it's going to create more buyers.
Yeah, is it the healthy way to do it though? Like stress test is there to make sure you can sustain, you know, a unforeseeable future. So I can see it both ways. You get approved, but then something happens down the road. That's why it's
a lot
there.
of people are happy there's a stress test, otherwise it'd be ruled.
Imagine you didn't have it then in 2020. That's yeah, Chad.
I heard Bill 60 just got passed.
Bill 60,
Yeah.
which is
For landlords and stuff like that. I didn't get all the details, but
We're renting.
renting, being able to get them out faster for not paying rent.
oh, like to do evictions quickly. It did pass. I don't know the exact bill though.
When today?
They let go a lot of things. There's I'm not sure what's left of Bill's. I think they said something like they have to speed up the process and they can't bring in extra evidence while they're in the middle of a court case, things like that. And I think they're trying to make 15 days for something or other. Yeah, so little things like that. But anyways, yeah.
I've also noticed that for tenants that are going for things built after 2019, they're actually negotiating that for their second year, the owner cannot increase their rent by more than what the ordinance stipulates. They have to agree to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Say that again.
So that's for anything built after 2018 where it's not rent controlled. The tenants are still able to negotiate even 1 or 2 year leases where in the second year when they typically could, you know, advance whatever they want because it's rent controlled. They're saying you cannot increase it more than what the legal legislative limit is, which is 2.5. Yeah, which we've seen clauses like that before. Yeah.
I was looking at something at I don't know, at CNN, whatever it was, but they're talking about New York City. And New York City has very severe limits on rent increases, right? So the landlords, and these are like, they've had rent controls now for 20, 30 years. So now what's happening that the buildings, there's no money left for the landlords to maintain the buildings. So the buildings are all falling apart.
Oh, gee.
All the inside, like I look pictures, like the ceilings are falling in and the bathrooms haven't been redone, nothing else. And the landlord's saying, hey, you're paying me enough to pay the taxes on this place, you're not paying me any more. So they're letting these things fall apart. So they found there's 50,000 vacant apartments in New York City in these distressed conditions. So that's the bad side about rent controls.
Yeah, I can see that too because they're almost relying on our landlords to fund affordable housing. So they are the ones that have to take care of the property and make sure it's livable and up to standards. But at the same time, they're limited in what they can charge for rent. It's a tough situation. Yeah. Just some other trends, which, you know, they're nothing new, but yeah, like the prices in Toronto and Vancouver are what we're seeing decreasing across Canada. Condos without parking have been increasingly difficult to sell. We know this already because they were all built for investors, and I'm even seeing the struggles now in Durham where they would release a 1-bedroom without parking. And even downtown, like people are not taking transit as much for safety, so the TTCs are not being used as much, and people still want to have a car. They don't want, especially if they're living downtown, they're forced to work downtown. Yeah. Now they want to go away on the weekends or get out of the city, and they want a car to do that, and they want a place to park their car. So we're going to see that issue of all these cookie cutter little tiny boxes with no parking come to the market. They're really going to struggle because even renters have cars. Like they typically will drive as well.
One parking spot's not even a whole lot. Like a lot of people with 2 people living in a condo need 2 parking spots. Yeah. So
other stats are people, millennials in their 30s and 40s are driving the demand right now for housing, but they're also the ones facing the most affordability crisis right now because their income needs to be quite high in order to facilitate that. But they are the ones that are driving the demand. They just can't make it happen with affordability. And then urban living pressures in smaller homes are contributing to delayed family formation. So that's not a secret that birth rates have been going down. People have been having children later, but all these pressures of affordability and job security is also impacting the timing of when people start families as well. And that's also impacting our market because they're not shopping for bigger houses. They're going to stay in smaller condos and things like that downtown. So lots of trends that are happening in our market right now.
What's the average age of first-time buyer today?
It's over 30 and
40.
Close to 40.
Yeah, it's 40 years old, right?
Yeah. So imagine you're buying your first house and then you're expected to get married and have a kid, but by then your body's done. So
40s, we're tired.
Your body gave up, right?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, the world's changing quite a bit, right?
This article here talks about, says here, homes are selling like hotcakes again in these parts of GTA.
Yeah,
I didn't even read that. No, did you read it?
Yeah.
Hotcakes?
Hotcakes.
Like when you think of selling like hotcakes, I'm thinking like sales.
Are we talking like Danforth area?
Yeah, they're
yeah,
selling,
I feel like that's true.
Houses are selling like crazy.
It's always realistic.
Is that true, back there, Ron? Is the east side going well? Yeah, you live over there.
I'm around Woodbine and Gerard.
Yeah.
And there's houses that have been listed and they've all sold in like 7
Yeah.
days. or
Okay,
less.
fine.
I feel like that area's always been pretty
They're
healthy.
right on that $1 million mark. Like
Yeah.
semi-detached,
They're in the
rooms and that.
low millions now?
They're 900, 800.
Yeah, so their prices have dropped.
So that's why you be careful. So when you do your CMAs, you got to know the neighborhoods. We're saying some neighborhoods, the average days on the market is 95 days on the market. Some neighborhoods, it's less than 2 weeks. Right? So that's what they're talking about. And they're saying the hot areas would be what Ronald's just saying. They're saying like beaches areas is hot right now, $1 million range.
Yeah.
But they're still staging, right? So the reality is staging works. And so when I see the homes, I'm sure I see them, and I see homes that are staged and properly presented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sell, and that always amazes me.
And they're like all the same layout.
The grass hasn't been cut in 3 weeks. Realtors got their sign there on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sits there for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So for those at home, they're saying here the properties that are priced right, that are staged, that are clean and have good curb appeal, those ones are selling. The ones that the property's not maintained, the grass isn't maintained, nothing else, those properties are hanging around.
Unless you're in Scarborough.
So the hot
kidding.
areas would be in Runnymede in York region, Riverdale. You talking about Riverdale? That's a hot area. 11 days on the market. Birchcliff in Scarborough, 12 days on the market average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birchcliff, right?
Nice spot.
Price point, yeah.
The areas that are not so hot, Flemington Park in North York, Yorkdale. And those guys aren't as hot. So Yorkdale would be part of what? North York, I guess, or is that a total?
Yeah.
North York. So I know North York prices are they're struggling, right?
Mm-hmm. This is an interview from an agent who's been around for 35 years, but she had some good points to make, and it's nothing that's new. It's nothing new that Mike Ferry didn't say or that Katelyn hasn't said, but sometimes when you say things, you pick it up at different times, right? She was saying one of the best advice, the question was, what advice would you give to a solo agent who's hiring for the first time? She said, don't hesitate. Admin tasks take up too much of your day, and they're important, but they don't grow your business. So hire somebody or use AI so you can spend more time face-to-face with clients. So even though we have to do all the paperwork and the admin, it's not what's actually building your business or making you any money. So if you get to a point where you can delegate that or afford to delegate it, that's when to start thinking about that kind of stuff. And her top lead sources even today was marketing mailers. So we talked a little bit about that, but Real Marketing gives this particular person an ROI of between 40 and 60% depending on the year. Past clients, so staying in touch, commenting on their social media, celebrating their family wins. And this one was interesting, it was agent referrals. She said, even if I'm not the right fit for someone's referral, I'll pass it to another agent. The goodwill always circles back. So we never thought about doing this before. As an agent, you kind of want to take every single deal that comes through, but maybe that person isn't a great fit, or maybe they do stress you out, or maybe it's in an area that you're not super comfortable going to. Maybe you do want to refer that to another agent in your circle, and you'll get that paid back one day. So it's not a bad thing.
I have a story about that.
Yeah.
I had an agent that I knew well in Dubai.
Yeah.
And he connected me with his client because his client did not connect with him at all.
Yeah.
And we worked on the deal together.
Interesting. And the two of you got along really well, or like, yeah.
We got along really well, and me and his client got along really
Yeah.
well as well. So we were able to close the deal.
And what was it that the original referrer and the client didn't get along? Like, was it personality, energy? What was
I would say it was the energy.
energy? Yeah. So pay attention to that kind of stuff. You don't have to suffer and take on every single thing if it's not aligned with your goals or your business.
I
as
also
well,
had
right?
someone from the office who just passed on a client because he said,
Yeah.
they'll connect well with you.
Yeah. And even think about that too. If you have clients that you've been shopping around for years, or listings that have been not like stalling, and you just don't want to have it dragging your energy anymore, you can consider referring it to somebody else and give it some fresh life. I know it's a really hard thing to do in this market where it's not as abundant, but it's not a bad thing to help with your own energy and in the end get that property sold. And then this is nothing new from what Claire says. Farming, find what works for your particular market. So for that person, it was farming with mailers. For someone else, it might be Google Ads, TikTok, Facebook, but whatever it is, pick one and stay consistent with it and do it all the time. So that was her key learnings.
They're talking about AI again. Let's go back to AI.
You know, which, like, when you say AI, by the way, it's not always artificial intelligence. These are just computer software automation type tools, right?
This person said use AI to do.
To be honest, she didn't say that. I made that up because not at all.
I want to know what AI.
So I'm thinking about, I'll tell you.
Content.
I'm thinking about you have a new lead and you want to add it to your CRM. You wouldn't need to hire someone to do that anymore. You can set up something in your HubSpot where you email it and have it added to your CRM. So my point was, don't spend your own time doing these little tasks. You might want to try to delegate them at some point. And the AI is what lets you do it for a little bit cheaper than hiring a human right now.
I'm not listening to the radio driving in that I was talking about AI, and maybe Sam knows the answer for this. Can you go to ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever else, and you can say, have a doctor's appointment at Thursday at 3 o'clock, and you add it to my calendar? Can you do that?
There's a link with ChatGPT now.
Yeah, so you have to set it up though. So you would have, first of all, you have to have it set up to your calendar. You have to set up your prompts to say, hey, when I send this message, this is what so you set that all up. But yes,
everything has to be connected.
You can do that.
And actually, even on my home phone,
Gemini does it?
If I have it recording,
But
it
not
will
only
book
that,
my
when you are using iPhone and you talk to Siri and you tell Siri that can you book my appointment at this time on this day for this client, Siri will book it for you.
Okay, so.
But they'll just put it in the calendar. They're not calling your client to book the appointment.
So
though, right?
what this guy went on to say was, I need a dentist appointment. Can you phone my dentist?
Yeah, like that's more impressive.
See what's available on Wednesday. Book me an appointment and let me know.
Yeah, that's more impressive than just putting it in your calendar.
That's probably not going to be ChatGPT. There's like literally millions of AI companies. ChatGPT and Gemini are probably the most basic ones. There's probably a dedicated appointment booking AI for
that will call on your behalf.
So now
that is the next iteration.
So now you're the dentist, and then this ChatGPT is going to email me, I guess.
Even a phone call. Mm-hmm.
And say I want an appointment for this person on Wednesday, and they'll write back, say I have it for 3 o'clock, or is that okay? And then what? Oh, I'll get back to you, or book it now and I'll get back to you or something. Anyway, so
there's so much.
If it could do that, then I can start to see how it's going to save money. But right now it's just.
You have to use it properly and drive it. You can't. It's not just going to like be set up for you.
Like on Facebook and any product that you advertise here, if you click on it, AI automatically sends you the message that is, how can I help you? And additionally, it adds another message that is any other product they have, they want to sell it to you. Those are the ways they're starting, but it's way too far to take control of the whole thing.
Yeah, so eventually it'll come.
Also, the kids these days do not use Facebook.
They don't even use Instagram.
Kids nowadays don't use Facebook or Instagram.
They're not big social. YouTube. They're not big social media.
They're YouTube.
He thinks I'm a loser.
I think TikTok maybe.
And YouTube. At all?
Yeah.
They still use Snapchat.
Yeah, they do use Snapchat. You're right.
Snapchat, YouTube.
Yeah, but people don't like the.
This is why kids.
It's old, but it's what the young kids are using.
This is why kids nowadays don't get married till they're 40.
Yeah. They don't have to.
Anyways, just so you know, this is a proposal. This is the Lease side. This is a building that looks like about, I don't know,
It's huge.
7 stories tall. No windows. It's built extra strong, extra heavy. It's a data center. All it is just full of computers. And they said all it is a giant refrigerator.
Yep, just computers.
Because everything's cooled down, everything else. So this is what they're talking about, the energy that's going to happen.
Every time you make a Sora video, this thing
this thing
going like crazy.
This thing's full of computers, and that's the direction we're going. So how many jobs? Those guys, somebody has to build this, somebody has to maintain this, somebody has to make sure that computers don't break down.
There's got to be a landlord involved.
Somebody's got to go in and make sure that they're clean. So yes, they're losing IT jobs, but there's other
creating
jobs
other jobs.
That's what's going on there, in my opinion. What else?
I'm okay for my. Just a reminder that your TRREB dues are due
December 31st. I'm sure you guys have all received a ton of emails.
There's no extensions this year. In years past, they've let us do it in January when ORWP came in.
Did anybody go to that meeting on?
I think Carly did.
I went to that meeting we had last Thursday, whenever it was.
You guys should have came just for the comments alone.
Holy smolies!
Who was running it?
So they did their general meeting online this time because last time was quite loud, I think, in person.
Oh, well, that was at Realtor Quest, I think.
Oh, true.
They did it at Realtor Quest. They had a meeting.
Yeah. So no, this was online, virtual, run by TRREB.
I didn't find anything about it.
Everyone's still mad about the healthcare.
Everyone is still mad about RWP.
And TRREB has nothing to do with
And
it.
the poor moderators the whole time were like, this is a TRREB meeting, this is not where you but it's, pay attention to what people are saying, right? They came to your virtual meeting to talk about something they wanted to talk about. But
Even our own agents, some of our own agents still there. They're all beside themselves.
I know,
still,
I
right?
get it. Yeah, we get it. It sucks.
But one thing he did say, John D. Michel said something there. You and I probably doesn't really matter, I guess. The question was, why can't we do this a monthly? Why can't we make a monthly payment instead of having one $2,000 bill? Why can't we make it like
Like every month you pay your TRREB dues.
$100 a month or $150 whatever a month?
What is the difference?
And he said, well, that's what we want to do, but you guys vote against it. And I think he's a liar.
Yeah, when was that vote?
The vote was there.
Realtor Quest that nobody knew about.
What they said at Realtor Quest, just for the record, they said that it was one question. It was one question you had to answer, yes or no, but it had two questions in the one question. One question was, do you want to do the monthly payments and allow the board of directors to make decisions on dues without consulting the membership?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a trick.
So everybody said no to that. Nobody said
Obviously.
no. Nobody said no to the monthly thing.
Exactly.
They said no to you guys deciding what you can do. But they put the two questions in one, and everybody said no. And now D. Michelle saying, "Well, we did it."
We tried to, and you said no. That's not true.
That's not true at all.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah, we saw through that.
All right. Yeah, because nobody wanted them to make the decision to increase or decrease without having the board involvement. But the monthly payment, who's gonna say no to that? So.
Well, these are the boards who they voted for this health thing. Is that nobody else?
Same guys, eh?
Yeah.
They're talking about here more children living in homes. So these 30, 40-year-old folks are still living at home. So they need to.
Well, they're either moving to their parents or the parents are moving in with them. But everyone's living together now.
I love Reddit though. If you Reddit some of the real estate stuff, that people are so mad at people living at home and not paying their parents' rent. Like, how dare they live at home and not even pay their parents' rent? Like, there's such a whole
They're all
school of
mad.
thought on Reddit. They think it's unfair now that they're not paying their parents' rent.
They can't afford rent.
Right, like,
and
their own
different
personal
different
business.
cultures out there too. Different
Totally.
cultures. Some cultures, the kids, even though they have their own family, they still have to give the parents money for paying for their education.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I've seen some cultures do that too, where the kid has to pay money every month, just even when they have their own kids and family, just to pay for the family for
In
their
our culture,
education.
I'm supposed to move in with the father-in-law.
You're supposed to move in with the father-in-law?
You're supposed to move in with the wife's family.
Just you, not Carly.
I thought she's supposed to move in your family.
No, man, no.
No, your family's supposed to move in with
reversing
you.
it.
We're the
It's
modern.
new age.
We're the modern family now.
Did anybody
We all moved back.
mention last week about Agent Pronto? I know a couple of people signed up for it.
I think Michael
so-
signed up.
Yeah.
Just
And
a
did
pass.
it hurt?
Did it hurt?
Did it hurt, Michael?
No,
Did it hurt? Okay.
it only took 10 minutes.
It only took 10 minutes. It didn't hurt. So why didn't everybody else do it?
Agent Pronto.
Agent Pronto. We've done at least one or two deals a year from some guy from the States who goes to Agent Pronto and says, hey, I'm living in Florida. I want to buy in Toronto. Who do you know? And then all of a sudden the agent gets the lead and away they go.
I think it's like a 30% referral or something like
It doesn't
that.
cost you any money up front. It costs you 30% referral fee if it happens. But it's there. Agent Pronto. And the other one, Zillow. Did anybody create a profile on Zillow?
I think Michael did Zillow too.
Michael, did you create a profile on Zillow?
Yeah, that one took like 18 minutes.
Did it hurt?
It was painful, but no.
It was painful, but no.
Less painful than door knocking.
So there's two little things.
Just passive.
And it's not like everybody's joining.
Those would be Jesus leads.
Right? Just one little thing. It's like you never know. You never know where it's going to come from, right?
Yeah.
You don't know where CR works, the newsletter. Maybe it'll come from that. Maybe it'll come from the Agent Pronto. Maybe it'll come from Zillow. You don't know.
Did anyone try to do that Hive thing? The listing leads? HVYY?
HYVVE or something.
I've only
like that?
seen 3 listings pop up from it.
Anybody know what it is?
Nope. So there you go. There's a little product that came out.
There's another one. So you might want to sign up for a Hive. Hive means that they've got a seller that says, hey, I want to sell my house, and it goes out to the highest bidder.
I've seen one Mississauga, Thornhill, and some random little town.
Condos talking about a bad dream. Condos, there's still a place for condominiums, right? Get those kids out of the house and get the condominium, right?
Yep.
And then grow from there. I mean, there is a start. What else? You, I guess, right?
Yep.
Okay, you can go.
Okay, I won't dive too much, but I'll do a little bit of Mike Ferry, what we did learn. Do you guys know what the number one way to get clients is?
Yell.
What was yours?
Yell.
Yell? No, it was talk to people.
Weird. I knew that.
Woo! I like how he did simplify it, honestly. He's like, it doesn't matter what you guys are doing, just talk to people. That's it. It can be talking online, it can be door knocking, it can be open houses. It doesn't need to be as traditional as what they used to say and like sit in front of your computer from 9 to 12 and do that. But all you have to do is talk to people. That's it. So if you guys are sitting at home, working from your home office, it's not going to work. And actually, I love Varan. Varan is the funniest person, guys, to do a networking event for. Because you guys had a booth at Mike Ferry, and I think you guys brought about 5 agents. And obviously, the whole goal is to go talk to people, right? So I have Varan like calling his mortgage guys, being like, guys, get away from this table and go talk to these 200 agents. So, and it was such a good point and so easy. So if you guys are still struggling on the right prospecting method, there is no right one. It's just talk to people. So that was a big thing that we did last week. I'm only going to go through one section that he did, but it was listing and selling real estate at any level requires an agent to do all of the following well, or your career and income are left to chance. So a strict time management system. So are you following a schedule 5 days a week? So they were very heavy on like having a schedule and treating this like a job. He was saying you should only be working 8 to 4:30 a day. It's not like we should be working until midnight every night, but we should have some sort of set schedule, whether you're going into your home office or you're going into a physical office, we should have a schedule in place. Lead generation and prospecting. There's only 3 ways to find clients. You can either wait for it, you can buy it through flyers and online lead gen and all that, or you can go find it by talking to people, which is the most cost-effective and predictable way. There's 2 kinds of people that you guys can talk to, which are people that you know and people that you don't know. The most successful one is, I was surprised he said it, but the most successful way is through people that you know. So if you guys don't know who to talk to, just open up your phone book, open up your database, just go talk to people that you already know, you've already talked to or already worked with. Very simple stuff. Aggressive lead follow-up, intense pre-qualifying. Only 5% of agents actually do pre-qualifications, which was what they talked about as well, as how to make sure a seller or buyer is actually motivated to do something, and so you're not wasting your time. Having strong presentation skills, especially with sellers. Handling objections, like will you cut your commission? Susan, do you know what that one is?
No. Any other questions?
Exactly. So they talked a lot about that. A very simple script is no, any other questions if someone asks you to reduce your commission. Closing for a signature, negotiating contracts, starting over each day at 0, which I liked. So even if you had a crappy day the day before, starting each day as if nothing bad happened to you the day before, as if you're starting fresh every single day. That's a big part of being a top producer, is kind of not letting everything affect you all the time. So if you guys did have something bad happen to you, I know he didn't say it Larry last week, but I've heard Mike Ferry say like, get over it. Like you guys are grown-ups. If something bad happened to you in your childhood or something bad happened in your teenage years and you're an adult now, he's like, move on. Like things have happened and it's not the most comforting way, but he's very like nonchalant like that. I think you've said it too, Claire.
Well, Mike Ferry's got the worst way to talk about it.
It's terrible. But it makes sense.
So what's holding you back? Oh, my mother.
I got a divorce.
My mother didn't like me when I was a kid. Really? What'd she do? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. And how old are you now? 55. Really? Okay, so when was this when you were 5? Okay,
Yeah.
Get over it.
Get over it. Let's go. So very strict way, but if you guys like it, he did have a lot. I'm not going to go through every single thing on it, but at the end of the day, it's just about working and talking to people, as many people as you can, following scripts, being a good presenter, and just being a good salesperson. So I liked him last week. I think he was great.
Who's been to coaching programs before? Any coaching program? What do they ask you to do?
Talk to people.
When you have your weekly phone call, what do they want? What do they want to know?
How many people did you talk to?
Isn't that
Is that what Buffini did? You guys have done all of them.
So when I used to train,
It's the hardest thing to do is to talk to people.
I used to say to the guys, well, what'd you do this week? Well, I did this and did this. That's great. And I said, do me a favor. I want to know how many properties. You guys can do this right now. In the last week, how many physical properties have you guys been inside? don't tell me, but you'll know.
You can tell.
You can tell. In other words, we're in the real estate business, right? How many houses do we go in and actually see, or condos, right? How many people did we shake hands with in last week? Not on the phone, not like, because what's your goal on the phone? The goal on the phone is to do what? Make an appointment, right? So did they ever track how many people you saw, how many hands you shook? I mean, so if you're conscious of these things, then you realize what you're trying to do, right? So those are two things.
And I think like they made a good point. Like it's not just about, I did 10 cold calls today. I went to a Raptors game and I met 5 new people that I was sitting around, or I went to my kids.
And 5 business cards.
Yeah.
Just gave one of the guys tickets.
There you go. Or like you're at your kids' sports games. This is a really great opportunity to go network with the other agents or the coaches and talking to people in the community. So it's not all about sitting at a desk all day, cold calling, trying to get an appointment. It's networking with the people that you're already seeing. Like you're already out there doing stuff. Just make a more cautious effort to make them know that you're in real estate. So these are already people that you know. So just kind of simplifying it and understanding that it's not just a hard way. So you could be talking to 50 people and you don't even know it every single day, but going to like Pilates, talking to the instructors, like the people beside you. So you're just talking anywhere you go, the grocery store, whatever it is.
Maybe so like what do you do on Wednesday afternoon? Wednesday afternoons I do property inspections. So every Wednesday afternoon. And you guys know you can book appointments to see properties for inspections. You don't have to have a buyer with you, right? You just book an inspection of a property, right? With no client, preview a client, preview it. Especially if I'm in a farm area, I'm looking at every single property comes up for sale in my farm area.
Yeah, they were talking last week about if you're going on listing presentations, you should be seeing every single property, especially the ones that are currently on the market. You should go book an appointment at every property that's on the market. So when you go into that listing presentation, you can be like, yep, I saw that house. Yours is way nicer than it, or yours smells worse than it. But like going into all the houses, you need to be able to sell why their house is not worth as much as they think just because you've been inside of that home. You can't just go to a listing appointment and not understanding the product that they're going against.
Let's say you want to do door knocking. Good point, right?
Yeah.
Good point. You want to do some door knocking, so we actually go in there and preview the properties the day before.
Yeah.
And then when it comes up, this property, I saw this property, it looks like crap, or the house is beautiful, whatever
it adds confidence to you when you're talking or coming out of experience. You're not just like, oh, actually, I haven't seen what it looks like inside. I saw it on MLS or stuff like that.
You look at properties that are $700,000-$800,000 range. Again, Wednesday afternoons are preview properties. You look for properties that are $800,000, $750,000, $800,000. You look at those properties and you come back to your thing and who's in that price range? You're going to phone that guy up and say, hey, look, I just saw this property today. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Gives you something to talk about.
Yeah. Final thing I will say, when it comes to scripts, the one most important script, because you guys get asked the exact same question probably from everyone. Do you guys know what that is?
Commission.
Yeah, commission, no. It's how's the real estate market. So if you guys are going into a barbecue, a family get together, people are going to ask you how the real estate market is. And what we notice is no one knows what to say, right? So a lot of the time you'll be like, oh, it's bad right now, or it's really bad, and or it's really good, but no one really is coming out. So they gave us a really good script on how is the real estate market. And their script is to say, actually, I'm looking for houses to sell right now. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home that could use my help? Usually they're going to say no, and then you're going to follow up by just saying, well, how about you? When do you plan on moving? So instead of going directly to an answer on how the real estate market is, just straight up say, I'm actually looking for houses to sell right now, and do you know anyone? So instead of just saying, I've even had a lot of people say, well, it depends if you're buying or selling. So if you guys are going out there and someone asks you guys how the market is, maybe try that script. It may feel weird, but I feel like it might work, maybe in like your own way. But if you're just like joking around and be like, actually, I'm looking for houses to sell. Like it doesn't have to be very like robotic. It can be very natural the way you say it. And you could joke about saying, well, do you know anyone? Or like, how about you? So if you guys are looking for some sort of script, which we all should have, and I think that was kind of the importance of last week, is knowing what to say and who to say it to. And that was kind of where all the confidence comes from, because we always get asked that question, and you do need to know what you're talking about when you guys get asked that. So you're going to be guaranteed it. Okay, so that was Mike Ferry. This week on Wednesday at 11, we're going to have PropTech Verify do a presentation for us. It's on webinar only. It's at 11 a.m. So PropTech Verify, I believe, is Single Key's kind of competitor. But what you're going to do, it's basically a tool that you can use with your landlords when you guys have listings, and you can ask the tenants to submit all their documents to this platform. It'll do a whole background check on them. It'll go through their social media. It will check their jobs. I think they even call, I could be lying, I think they call the job places for you, and they do it within like 24 hours or 48 hours, and they'll try to call the place where they said they worked, and they'll either say got a hold of them or didn't get a hold of them, so they will say something. But it's going to be a really good tool for you guys to use. I think it's $17 per application. One of our agents did use it recently, and they really enjoyed using it, said it was very easy, and it's very in-depth. So if you guys, we're seeing a lot of fake documents these days. So if you guys are doing listings, or even if you guys want to verify your own tenants, because I've had agents reach out to us that are working with a tenant saying, are these documents fake? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. So if you're working with a tenant that you may think that they might be a little fake, or maybe you want to present a really good portfolio to the landlord with their application, this might be a really good tool for you guys. So that's at Wednesday at 11. So I'll send out some more information on that. I forget what the guy's name is. Do you know what his name is, Sugi? He's friends with Baran. What's his? I think it's Adyan. I could be saying it. I just butchered it for sure. Anyways, that's Wednesday. So I'm excited for that one. And that's all I got.
Any message from the mortgage side?
Mortgage side, still like the delinquency part is still hitting us as well. The banks are going pretty aggressive on the retention part of it. So renewal, they're trying to hold it on their side. So refinances are kind of slowing it down in that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of them coming up with the good offers for the renewals now.
Wow.
I was reading that a whole bunch of mortgages are going to come due in 26, so renewals, right?
Yeah, from 2021.
A lot of guys are sitting at 1.5% up to 3.9 or something there.
Yeah.
So
We're already getting a lot of renewal calls of the 2026 rate.
Yeah.
Data says that 1.5 billion mortgage has coming for the renewal.
Yeah. So it's a really great opportunity for you guys. Like what we said in December last year, for anyone that bought in 2021, we should start to reach out to these guys and say, hey, your 5 years may or may not be coming up. You're for renewal. Have you talked to your mortgage broker yet? Let's get ahead of it. They may start thinking about selling. So it's a good time around probably December, January to start reaching out to those people.
I was going to say, you might want to, if you're farming again, find out who bought 5 years ago.
True.
And whose mortgages are coming due in 26, knock on their doors. So you need any help.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
I'm good.
Good.
Anyone have listings that you want to talk about?
Everyone's quiet. It's sad.
No, it's because the hour set in. We're done now. We need to move our bodies around. Need one final affirmation before you go.
The phone makes me money.
Perfect. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Okay, guys. All right. See you later.